Hello, Reddit. Welcome to MatPat. I am reporting to you from an abandoned Blockbuster video I've retrofitted into being a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, complete with Domino's pizza boxes, plushies from the official line of FNAF merchandise, and of course, I've painted myself Purple Guy. Today on the Fearfic Podcast, we'll be discussing why Scott Cawthon rejected my over 9,000 pitches for a Freddy Fazbear movie. It really seems like he thinks he's entitled to do what he wants with FNAF when I've been doing all the heavy lifting with the lore. Sigh, but that's because no one is fair to MatPat, lowly old MatPat. Also, Dead Palette talks about Rainbow Six Siege pros and content creators having too much power. What an idiot. Doesn't he know that content creators are the community? Slimebeast is also a bad man, and Abysmii is drunk. Anyway, that's just a theory. A MatPat theory. FNAF. You dumb idiot. Thanks for clicking.
Welcome to the Fearfic Podcast. Fearfic is the term for short horror fiction, mostly posted on the web. It includes any and all related subgenres. Join three assholes talking basement goo Slimebeast, inebriated interstellar traveler Abysmii, and irritable ghostly man-whore Dead Palette, as they read all stories horror and internet-related, paragraph by paragraph, and bullshit while they do it. From adolescent revenge fantasies to subtle postmodern narratives about real-life events and everything in between, they read it and critique. You better believe it. Kick it to the cold open, white boy.
So what are you guys planning for your 50? You guys gonna have a happy 50? You gonna have a joyous 50? Or?
My 50 times actually getting laid?
No.
Oh.
I'm talking about something that's coming up soon.
The 50?
DP, what are you doing for your 50?
It's kind of 50-50 on it.
God damn it. Well, I personally, for the Lucasfilm 50th anniversary release of various Lucasfilm action figures, I'm going to probably just buy a bunch of them, wrap them up in gift wrap, put them under a tree shaped like George Lucas, and open them on the actual 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm.
Are we revealing right now that George Lucas has the body shape of the Fibonacci sequence?
Yes. But
what
here's
is
the thing.
Fibonacci sequence?
It's the golden ratio.
God damn it.
It appears in nature.
Gotcha.
Okay, so here's the thing. 50th anniversary, they're releasing a bunch of action figures for Lucasfilm, properties, including Star Wars. Like re-releases of like classic figures. So you're going to be able to get like a re-release and like a new sculpt of like the classic Obi-Wan Kenobi figure from the original Star Wars line, except this time it looks like the actual actor, like it's really sculpted really well.
Instead of being shit, it's good.
Yeah. You can get Princess Leia, you can get Jar Jar Binks from the Phantom Menace, you could get like the battle droids from the Phantom Menace, all these awesome figures being released for the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm. What do you think about that? Oh, by the way, nothing from the sequel trilogy, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, like it's a bold move considering that toy sales for Star Wars has been declining for years now.
Literally nothing. No Kylo Ren, no Rey. Literally nothing from the sequel trilogies in any form. You can get fucking Jar Jar Binks. That's available for purchase.
Well, I think there's like a push for like post-irony Jar Jar Binks is okay now because it's hilarious.
Okay. Well, they want to kitbash him into a Sith Lord, which is what the movie should have been about.
Dude, why not just like literally bring George Lucas back and just make it a shitpost?
At this point, they should have.
Literally really just like Photoshop Kylo Ren to be Jar Jar Binks. Like, there's nothing stopping you.
What if you just had Hayden Christensen wake up from a nightmare and say he's burnt up, he's Darth Vader version, waking up from a nightmare and saying, "Oh, I had this terrible dream," and they're like, "What happened?" "Well, there was this girl named Rey there."
You were there.
I am of the opinion that it's excellent that everyone, all these young people, loved the Star Wars prequels when they came out. That's fine.
Sure.
People grew up. I'm saying like young people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like,
when you were 7, those lightsaber battles were great.
Yeah, so like those people that grew up on those films like them, and then just like kind of like learn to dislike them over time. I don't think that that's going to happen with the other films. The only people who like those films are kids that never watched the other media, which I don't like any Star Wars except for KOTOR, so,
Can kids enjoy the new sequels? Like, are you just gonna have, like, 7-year-olds going around with, like, terrible depression now because they're like, that's what life is all about? That's what adventure is? That's what... that's what the galaxy is like? Oh, man.
Well, no, because they're going to have access to everything that we also have. So if they really like Star Wars, they'll just discover everything else.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. The kids that I have seen are just like, no, I like cool like lightsaber battles, but they like make up their lightsaber battles in their head, so they don't like necessarily have an affinity for these new lightsaber focused films. You know what I mean?
So, do you think that kids are more likely, like nowadays, 7-year-olds now, are more likely to buy a Jar Jar Binks figure than Pilgo Flint or whatever the fuck the names are from the new thing?
100%. You also have to consider that they like young Obi-Wan Kenobi. They like young edgelord Anakin. They like these characters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and they'll watch like Star Wars Rebels or the Clone Wars series, which is like a lot longer, a lot more kid oriented.
I thought you said Star Wars Red Pills. I was like,
Star Wars Lego games. They love those.
Oh yeah, those are like
popping off.
And I think that's it's going back to the merchandise thing. Toys.
Going back to merchandise, toys.
As someone with like 3 nephews, they are really not really caring for actual physical toys as much as I did growing up. Granted, I had that, and I had video games eventually, but they want to play Minecraft with me. They want to play Subnautica. One of them is really into Fortnite. Go fucking figure. Mm-hmm. Here's your Star Wars action figure. They're like, this isn't a video game.
Are any of them excited about the new FNAF movie by chance?
No, they're not. But let me tell you something.
You know what? I've never asked them, and I kind of want to, because one of them is really into horror movies, so I have to wonder.
I just wanted to quickly say, I remember reading a comic book back in the 80s. It was a comic called What the...
Spider-Man?
Yeah, Spider-Man, sure. It was a comic called What the, and it was like Marvel's satirical spoof version of the What If comics.
Okay.
Yeah, so What the, the appropriately titled What the, would have just silly bullshit, going on constantly in the comic, and that was my jam, because I was like, I like silly bullshit. But they had an issue in the 80s. Now, I don't know, for all the Zoomers out there, Thanos originally was trying to kill everybody because he was in love with Death, who was like a, big titty goth girl.
A character motivation that actually makes sense.
Yeah, he wasn't like
just ripping off Sandman?
He wasn't a farmer running an adoption agency in the comics. But in the 80s, and probably previous, he was trying to court Death, trying to actually fuck, Death itself. So in this What the comic, they have a whole story basically like the Infinity Gauntlet thing. But when Thanos goes back to meet with Death to court her, she's sitting on a bench with Mario from the Super Mario Brothers games. And he says, "What do you possibly see in this short Italian plumber?" And Death replies, "He's killing off your entire industry." So even in the 80s, they knew video games were going to destroy. Even when Mario was just coming out for the Super Nintendo, they knew their time was up.
Confirm for me, did Death in this 80s comic look like a goth punk rocker?
She just was like pale skinned with a black cloak, but.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Pretty
I was going to say that's ripping off Sandman by Neil Gaiman then, because Death is like a punk rocker goth girl.
That probably came after the Mario Brothers was released.
Fucking hot. Whatever.
But yeah, anyway, so I just thought it was
Neil Gaiman, American Gods.
I just thought it was
never
interesting.
Read American Gods.
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting that comic creators knew, but executives never learned.
Oh, they always learn way too late. Yeah.
Anyway.
So what if we segued about bad news about FNAF movie?
So Brandon has located this because, I like FNAF 1 through 3. Brandon, huge FNAF fan, really wants to this isn't even a horror story, guys. This is updating us about the status of the FNAF movie.
Yeah, purple FNAF.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely my favorite. I'm a little bit tired. I'm a little bit tired.
Can we?
Favorite.
That's the title of this episode. My favorite story.
Oh, God damn it. So what do you guys link this? And I was just like, okay, let's fucking read it.
So Scott Cawthon, for anybody who doesn't know, is a Christian game developer who lucked into something the minute he stepped away from Christianity. So
into Papua New Guinea and
yes,
wrote the Gai Doll.
God damn it, Gai Doll Chica.
So this is confusing. This is on the FNAF's Five Nights at Freddy's subreddit and is posted by Scott Cawthon, user AnimDude.
Now, I don't know what kind of comments we're going to get on this video because the Five Nights at Freddy's subreddit lit up about me a while back.
What? Oh, right.
I tweeted out, Scott Cawthon made this announcement where he was like, I'm taking, in some indie developers who have made spin-off games of Five Nights at Freddy's, and we're going to put them onto consoles and phones, and I'm going to help them do all this. And I tweeted out saying, yeah, he's going to help them do all that, and he's going to make a shit ton of money. It's not like a charity case. And so the subreddit lit up with, no, he's a wonderful genius man! He's a beautiful angel! Slimebeast is a piece of shit for questioning whether a businessman is doing something for business purposes.
Wait,
that's a little weird.
This is actually by Scott Cawthon.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just be like, yeah? Wouldn't that be your natural reaction? It's just
I told them, when people were contacting me about it, I just said, ask Scott Cawthon. Go ask him. What the fuck? Gee, Scott, are you making any money on this business deal?
It is weird though, and I'm not going to criticize him because I'm guessing this is going to be a more conversational episode. Sure. But it is weird, and I don't know how to feel about this exactly. But you have these ESRB ratings, right, where it says games for this or whatever, and a lot of cool parents with cool kids just ignore that and are just like, whatever, violent video games don't cause no violence, and everything's fine. Because a lot of kids are just sensible and just are like, well, if I act immature, my parents will take this away. Fine. So they kind of force themselves to be mature. That way they can play mature thing shoot guns because Fortnite is so adult oriented, even though it's a game literally for kids.
And if you have a kid whose parents give absolutely no shits about what they do, it's better that the kid is inside playing video games.
Yes.
True. Because that's not someone you want to deal with. But
that's a good point. I never thought of it that way. But it's funny because these games that get popular on Steam, they don't have to go through the ESRB. They don't have to go through all of these strict regimens to get rated and everything. So as a result, games that are violent and about kids getting bitten and are just full of fucked up shit Five Nights at Freddy's pop off because they don't have to go through the monopoly that is the ESRB of just hey, how about you give us $100,000 and we'll rate their game for you and you
knock
might
you down to a T.
Knock you down to a T. Hey. So they just bypass that. And as a result, you can just go to Target and there's just Five Nights at Freddy's slippers for kids.
Yeah.
It's just in the
just
kids
shit
section
everywhere.
for kids. Hey, get your Five Nights at Freddy's Freddy Fazbear's pizza bib.
I have seen...
Is Scott Cawthon the George Lucas of our time?
Yes.
He really is.
Absolutely, 100%.
Wow.
As you can see with every sequel he's made. But here's the thing.
He's going to go back and re-release number 1 with completely different characters.
You're going to be in the office from Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and as you're trying to sit there and concentrate, all these CGI creatures are going to antic by and
just walk
in front of the camera and block everything. I want to see what's going on. I don't want to see this fucking dinosaur walk by. What the shit?
Scott, if you're listening, and I know you are, don't do it, please.
Yeah.
I know I said I
No,
want you
do
on your
it.
deathbed. I didn't mean it.
Fucking do it. But the thing is, they have Five Nights at Freddy's nightlights.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that as a concept.
Well, like,
Pretty
at a
bizarre.
certain point, they become, like, the creatures just become so less gritty and nightmarish, and they just, are like, these toys are alive and talking, and like, okay, well, it was scary when they were animatronics and run down and dirty, and now you've just made them so unbelievably
It's
bright.
I refuse to acknowledge that FNAF is a horror franchise at all, because if you have kids who are afraid of the dark and want Freddy to protect them, it's not, I'm sorry. It's not working as a horror franchise. It's more, which it really fucking works as like a Hello Kitty style, icon character, but
again, like, it didn't start out that way, and it's unfortunate that that's what it turned into.
Right.
But I totally agree with you.
I think that it is just kind of one of those things of like, okay, we're going to make this cool movie that's going to be about like contemporary society. It's going to be about policing. It's going to be called RoboCop. And then it just ends up, well, RoboCop is a kids movie. Wait, no, it's not. It's just like, well, it's not. It's just like, well, kids like it and they want toys of it, so it's a kids movie now. It's like, well, shit, I guess it's a kids movie now.
Like
Sell them toys.
you would have a nightlight of RoboCop because he's a police officer and a superhero, basically, to kids.
Yeah.
He protects you in the dark.
He
Nobody
also
wants a
shoots the guy's
nightlight.
dick off.
Nobody wants a nightlight of melting toxic waste guy who gets hit by a truck of his face plugged into the outlet.
Hey, you
what,
don't have to
Toxic
talk
Avenger?
about me like that.
Zing. I'm sorry, what?
Toxic Avenger? I loved Toxic Avenger as a kid.
God damn it, no, I mean the guy from RoboCop. The bad guy who gets hit with the toxic waste.
Well, I did like Toxic Avenger as a kid. Toxic Avenger's cool.
Again, a superhero, though. Not like Freddy Fazbear?
Yeah.
Not supposed to be intended to be a good guy, and yet,
Not originally, yeah, and then the lore just got stupidly convoluted.
Well,
But
it is funny though, because again, Toxic Avenger movie where a bunch of guys are just doing coke.
Yeah. had a cartoon, The Toxic Crusaders.
I remember that cartoon. I would say that I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. It's just, hey, Scott Cawthon, good on you for gaming the system to make maximum currency.
I said this a long time ago somewhere else, but if you want to teach game design, you have to teach what Scott Cawthon did with Five Nights at Freddy's. He came from fucking nothing, and like I want to say
advertised in furry communities, and yes,
I don't want to say that it was minimal effort, but it's minimal game design, and it blew up.
right.
Like PR.
Well,
everything that the SEO, all that happened with FNAF, you should be studying that.
It's the jump scare effect is literally just YouTuber let's play camera bait of like, let's be scared of this. It is, it has the same, and I'm not saying this purely, I'm saying this half facetiously. It has the same artistic value as Two Girls, One Cup.
It is literally gamified screamer videos.
Yeah.
It is gamified Two Girls, One Cup.
dressed up in a kind of like a perversion of nostalgia of remember Chuck E. Cheese, remember how it was kind of creepy? Okay, we're playing into that.
Right.
It's it's genius in a lot of its simplicity.
Well, I remember. Oh, sorry again.
No, go ahead.
A lot of people say Scott Cawthon made this game because people said that his characters looked like animatronics. But the thing is, I remember that time very clearly of reading like Tumblr posts and different things like that about old animatronics.
Remember Tumblr?
Yeah. I remember reading old articles about old animatronics and shit like that right before Five Nights at Freddy's was made, because of the fact that when the game came out, I thought, oh, I guess this was made because of all these, articles talking about how creepy these are. So I'm like, the timeline is like, did you just make this because that was at the moment something that was, kind of viral, or?
Yeah, which again would not be a bad choice.
Oh no, of course not.
It makes sense. That's just smart.
Yeah. But it just is like, it makes me wonder, because I'm like, I remember the articles. Is this?
Well, it's a chicken or egg thing, because like maybe it was just at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Either way, no matter A or B, you can buy the chicken in a 7-Eleven. So
that's right.
It's there.
Yeah.
What do we think about the fact that Scott Cawthon, Scoots Catscon,
Scoot Catsworth.
Scoot Catsworth. What do we think about the fact his username on Reddit is AnimDude? Is that animator or anime?
Animatronic dude.
Animatronic dude? Fuck.
Animatronic man. Animatronic man. Doing what he can with animatronic hands.
AKA RoboCop.
Oh?
Ooh. Man, what if we just get like a new RoboCop game where you're a criminal and there's RoboCops coming to kill you?
And you have to sit in the prison.
Will Scott Cawthon help me make the game and get it published for
Would that be RCAB? ARCAB?
All cops are
all
RoboCops.
RoboCops are bastards.
ARAB.
Oh, God. All robots, yeah.
God damn it. All right, well, start us off, Brandon.
Yeah, so I guess that this is news. You guys posted this, and I just like, oh, this must be a story, so I put it into, like, we should read this at some point.
Whatever.
This is a Reddit post from Scott Cawthon about the FNAF movie. Okay, good.
Bad news about the FNAF movie. Unhappy face. Hi, everyone. Before we get to the bad news concerning the state of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, I wanted to share a brief history of the FNAF screenplay. It's been a long road, so let's take a look at some of the screenplays that have come and gone over the years, in no particular order. Or feel free to skip to the end if you really want to see the bad news, and then come back and enjoy the list.
Alright, so let's skip to the end and then move on.
No. Some of these came from big studios, some from big directors, some from big old me, from me, and some from other hired writers. I gave the screenplays a name, and I'll include a brief synopsis as well as what ultimately led to each screenplay being rejected. Let's get started.
Okay, so how much do you have to work to fuck up a Five Nights at Freddy's script treatment?
Well, I have comments on this, but we should wait till we get to the end.
I mean, you look at the fucking Wally's World or whatever the fuck it is. Story idea. A night guard at an animatronic-filled pizza place realizes they're alive.
Well,
it's the game, and it's the script idea.
No, because if we had just had FNAF 1 and it blew up, and then they said, hey, make a movie, yes. FNAF has evolved into so much more than just a game. There is this obsessive fixation on the deep lore and all sorts of just random superfluous bullshit. So Scott knows that if he doesn't chock it full of dead end lore bait, then it's not going to do well, because that's what everybody wants now.
So you just do FNAF 1 as the movie, but you throw in, like, Nolan Joker cards. It's
too late to do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying you throw in Nolan Joker cards where it's like...
Oh, you could.
Yeah.
But, like, no, like, this is me imagining what Scott is thinking. Like,
right.
He knows this is too big now to just be a simple movie. He can't do it.
Anyway. The quote-unquote F screenplay.
For fuck.
I guess we'll each take, like, a full,
Sure.
Yeah.
Basic setup. A group of teenage troublemakers break into Freddy's. Chaos ensues, a.k.a. Wally's World. Problems. Although a pretty basic setup, there were a lot of odd choices here, which only got weirder as the story continued.
I refuse to believe that.
My God. Someone trying to write the story in an entertaining way with strange new things in it? Wow. The story ended with our protagonists in a secret underground animatronic factory that was designing robots for the government. Isn't that...
That's number 5.
Yeah,
essentially.
That's literally one of the games. Not totally literally, but... And then there's a little face of, like, a disturbed-looking, sad face.
It's the I'm nonplussed face.
Abysmii, you're our fnafologist here.
Mm-hmm.
It literally is a game in the series where you're at an underground animatronic factory base, right?
Well, I think that's Sister Location, and then other ones after Sister Location. Yeah.
So what the fuck, Scott Cawthon?
I know, and he probably knew about this after. Like, this probably got teased after Sister Location, so I don't know what his issue is here.
Verdict. What the fuck? Strayed way too far from source material. No, it's exactly like your games!
What the fuck are you talking about? Like, if you take out the government part, that's literally one of the games.
Let me read one more. I want to read one more here because this is too fun. Okay. Title: Five Nights at Freddy's. Basic setup: a pizza place with animatronics has a night guard who sees terrible things. Problems: not based on the game at all and too crazy. Huh. Okay, sorry.
I wonder if this one he's trying to be... what's the term I'm looking for? He's trying to navigate, like, it was a Jason Voorhees kind of thing, where there being a bunch of promiscuous teens, and him being a Christian boy didn't want no devilry penis vagina.
Well, then he could just said it was too R-rated for what I wanted, or too something.
The thing is, though, my question is this. With the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, the lore, half of it decided by MatPat.
It really was.
Yeah.
Is this really a George Lucas situation? Where Scott Cawthon maybe doesn't know what's going on in his own franchise.
Well, hold on. Let me correct
George
you.
Lucas didn't.
Half decided by theories that MatPat stole from Reddit and then presented it as his own.
Absolutely, because he's a thief. And that's not the only time that he's stolen theories from other people and DCs. Nope.
The thing is, like on Red Letter Media, they make a point of saying, where George Lucas, in one of the behind-the-scenes things for the prequels, somebody turns to George Lucas like a digital effects artist and says, "What color is Yoda's blood?" And George Lucas looks like deer in the headlights and says, "Green?" Like, because Yoda's green, so I guess his blood is green. So I'm wondering, is this really like a George Lucas thing where it's like, Mr. Cawthon, one of your games was about an underground facility designing robots. It's like, okay. Really? Oh.
Abysmii, why is Scott Cawthon Vince McMahon? It was.
Well, I mean, some things even I, resident fnafologist, can't perfectly explain.
All right, so what's the next setup? Yeah.
Meow. Five Nights at Freddy's. Meow, I like it.
No.
Play it more.
Me.
Anybody want to adopt a cat?
No. Chelsea's allergic. Lesbian of low intelligence, allergic to pussy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I looked out, guys.
Yep.
I was the next best thing. Not
the
vagina.
next
God damn it.
The plushies take Manhattan screenplay. Basic setup. Plushies take Manhattan. Problems. Plushies took Manhattan. Verdict. Burned with fire.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you could. I think the real problem, and maybe this is like implied, but yeah, no, that's just being Jason and the Muppets, and that's too on the nose. Sure.
So,
okay.
So are the plushies like a specific term in the?
Yeah, I think in. Not two.
They
but
have plushies in the games, or at least one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, the plushies they were just like little. This is just a perfect. I'm actually really glad we're having this episode because talking about FNAF is actually rather interesting from a game design standpoint. So in one of the earlier games, there was just little plushies of the bigger animatronics, probably just for fun. Oh, hey, look, you're a security guard. You have a little plushie of one of them, and then lore got made up. Because one of them you can click on it and like a little honk noise happens or something or a quack, and then like they said, oh well, that's actually the spirit of one of the kids trapped inside of the plushie, and then so the plushies then became characters in later games.
Yeah.
Which is just that's my biggest problem with FNAF is it just spirals into this is all superfluous. You don't need this shit.
Scott Cawthon is an absolute genius.
He is.
Because he saw what MatPat was doing, and he was like, I'm just going to create a Skinner box.
Yeah.
And he's going to write the story for me.
Yeah.
Is it genius? Now, it is a certain level of business savvy and cunning.
Yes.
But is it genius to just do what everybody else tells you to do?
If you can, think
if it
about
makes you money.
Yeah.
If it makes you money and people are not yet pissed off about it, I stopped playing it, but it's only grown in popularity and like profitability. He's doing it right. Yeah, that is the genius of it.
But
whether or not it's
not
game,
it's not a Rick and Morty thing where everyone ended up getting pissed off at the fandom.
Mm-hmm.
People who like Five Nights at Freddy's still like it.
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part. Like, Purple Guy.
Is it a good idea and is it good business savvy if listening to people who liked the plushies and adding plushies to your game fucked your movie for a certain period of time? Because they added the thing you had in your game
Dog,
Well,
he tossed out so many screenplays that like doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter to him because nothing is riding on this movie. People want to see it. They want it made. The franchise is not riding on whether there's a movie or not. Their games are going to keep coming out. There's a new game coming out soon, I think, actually. It's a big VR to do.
I'm going to, throw this out there. Hell yes, I'm going to see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Oh,
I don't
yes.
care if it's good or bad or whatever. Fuck yes, I'm watching that.
I'm going to see the one with Nicolas Cage, too, because one of my, if I said to myself, when I heard about the rumors of the movie coming out, I'm like, oh, dude, Nicolas Cage should be a security guard. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Now,
he would play that shit up.
Did you watch the Banana Splits movie? Either of you?
No.
What is
remember
that?
The trailer.
Ah, so I think you might be full of shit then if you're going to go see all
What
of
is Banana... I don't know what Banana Splits is.
The Banana Splits was a 1970s children's show, live action with people in costumes.
Oh, yeah, we're full of shit for not seeing something that was a TV show fucking 10 years before we were alive, or 20 years.
What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, let me finish the setup here. Banana Splits was a 60s or 70s television show, an actual, authentic, genuine children's show that was live action trying to make kids happy. Sci-Fi Channel got the rights and made a Five Nights at Freddy's knockoff movie for their channel out of it, with the Banana Splits characters murdering people.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So that's for DP. But if you're so hot to see these FNAF movies and even the Nicolas Cage one, why didn't you see the Banana Splits one? You
because that one
fake fan.
Because I've literally never heard of it.
Because
Abysmii.
it looks the wrong type of stupid. That's why.
Fake fucking fan. Typical.
I'll tell you what I didn't go see. I didn't go see the My Little Pony movie.
Sure you didn't.
Not in theaters.
Not in theater.
I never went to see the My Little Pony movie, but someone who looks exactly like me with a big fake beard calling himself Brandino Patrico might have gone.
A giant mustache.
Yeah. Wearing a sombrero for no reason. What the fuck? Not okay.
The Random Charlie screenplay. Basic setup. Charlie and friends sneak into Freddy's after hours to retrieve a lost toy. It's not terrible. No. Problems. Although sharing names of familiar characters from the series, these characters had nothing to do with their game and book counterparts. So while featuring familiar elements of those games, it seemed too loosely based on the game. Yeah, because that's never worked incredibly well, and lost a lot of its impact because of it. See? You see? Verdict felt like a random bag of FNAF elements with no real stakes. Meh.
Okay, first of all, the people shared names with characters from the games, but weren't related. Nobody cares. There's no characters from your games other than the animatronics that anybody cares about. Secondly, from the books, maybe he's not the George Lucas, because if he's respecting the novelizations,
well, the novelizations that he helped to write, though.
Can you imagine this movie can't be made because it's changing something from one of the novelizations that we put in Walmart?
Well, I think the novels don't even strictly follow the games.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I see. Yeah, his issues with this strays too far from the game. So it's a movie. You cannot fit a game into a movie, and vice versa.
I take
They're
issue
different
with that.
mediums.
I take issue with that because I think that in this case, the structure of the games will lend themselves better to being straight adapted into a movie than it would otherwise, because it's such a passive experience. And so, because it is kind of like an interactive, oh, don't go in there, oh, don't do that, they're going to get you kind of experience. So I think that there is an element where being picky and choosy is a good idea for this, because, okay, well, we do kind of have a mechanic at play of how to scare people. Just make sure you don't fill it with absolute shit, and then we're fine.
I think it also, it depends again on which game he's really looking to adapt. 1 through 4 are, if you ever watched Let's Players, by the end of it, it's just mechanical motion over and over and over again, and it's just a tedious trial. That does not really translate well to a movie. The other ones The other ones become much more cinematic, and that does lend itself, I would say, probably starting with Sister Location. Go ahead, Slimebeast.
I would slightly disagree, very slightly. This is just a quibble. Mm-hmm. I think it would be really funny if you had a FNAF movie where, by the end of it, the main character in the movie has learned from everything that's going on and is literally sitting in a chair, bringing up the camera, checking it, closing the door, turning the light on, bringing up the camera. Like, just in a quick scene, like a montage, sort of how he spent it all night. I think that would be really funny.
I think, and I could be wrong, but I think what the three of us who are, not super fans of FNAF, what we would appreciate in a FNAF movie would be kind of a satirical take on just like, not just FNAF, but the culture around it. And, and yes, I would enjoy that too. That would be funny. But that's not the movie that Scott Cawthon wants to make. That's not the movie that movie studios want to make.
Yeah, so let's look at what this other pitch is.
Yeah,
sure.
The Let's Player pitch. There's a Let's Player in the corner as the whole movie plays, freaking out and screaming.
People go to the theater and it's just a supercut of Markiplier's fucking footage, and it's just that.
Could you imagine? This is the thing. FNAF the movie, I'm not interested. FNAF as a franchise and as a movie with a hint of self-deprecating humor and knowledge of its tropes, I would be down for. Imagine the guard, first-person perspective of the guard walking through the fucking closed down, for the night pizza place, gets a phone call. In brightly
purple clothes.
Yeah. He gets a phone call on his cell phone, right? Cell phone rises up in the character's hand in the bottom left side of the view of the character. On the screen comes up Markiplier. It's like, hey, it's me, your friend Bob. I just wanted to call and see how you're doing. And he's down right in the corner, and the guy is like, oh my god, something's happening. And Markiplier's down in the corner going, oh my god, run! Oh, that's so scary! I can't imagine what it would be like if I was there.
I really, I can't. There's no way I can make this happen, but I want to just trick a bunch of people and get them into a theater saying, hey, I've got an advanced cut of the FNAF movie, and just play Markiplier's Let's Play footage and just let it run.
So you just have the security guard escape for the night, and he's out. He's taking a breather, and he's like, I need to call a private detective to sort all of this out. And then it's just MatPat. And he just explains, just exposition dumps.
He calls 911, and for no reason whatsoever, it's, hi, this is Detective MatPat. What's your 911 call about? Like, not even through a dispatcher or anything.
He's got to show up, but it's got to be meth head MatPat.
So MatPat, yeah.
Well, like how he looks now, yeah. It can't be like normal MatPat. It's got to be post-kid, post-everything MatPat.
He shows up and he's got a fedora and trench coat and he's got a pipe in his mouth with his hand and he's got that look on his thumb that he puts up where he's like looking up like, what seems to be the issue?
And bubbles come out.
Yeah. Anyway, we're writing Scott Cawthon when you listen to this because all of your fans have told you it's full of terrible, horrible things and you need to sue us. When you listen to this, MatPat, just consider the fact you should actually hire us to make this movie.
Yeah. You mean Scott Cawthon?
Same person.
What'd I say? Oh, fuck, yeah.
Said MatPat.
Yeah, I meant Scott Cawthon, but either way.
Check better be in the mail, Scott.
Is purple guy MatPat, who's also Scott Cawthon?
Someone please make me that thumbnail so I can just put on random videos.
But yeah, Scott Cawthon, hire us to rate your movie. Okay, anyway. The Silver Eyes screenplay. Basic setup. Kira, whoever that is, and I both worked on 3 versions of a Silver Eyes screenplay over the course of about a year. So this is one he wrote.
Well, so Silver Eyes is the book series. Kira is the co-author.
Oh, fuck.
Just to clarify.
Trying to find the right approach to the story from the first book. God damn. I don't know why I hate the novelization concept so much, like in terms of basically any franchise. I don't know why. Problems. These were the first attempts I made myself to write a screenplay after realizing it was going to be difficult to find someone else who understood the lore well enough to do it.
Oh my god.
The lore that MatPat wrote for you.
He's admitting he doesn't understand his own lore enough.
Well,
oh my god.
I think he's saying he couldn't find anybody who understood it as well as he did.
Oh wait.
Or does he?
Someone else who... Okay, sorry, that was my misreading.
You don't understand the lore. Unfortunately, it also meant these screenplays suffered greatly from my inexperience at writing. Even Kira, with her writing expertise, couldn't save them. Verdict. Although these had some good elements, I ultimately decided to focus on making a screenplay from the games and not from the books. But you just said in a previous one you threw something out because it didn't follow the game or the books. Then fuck the books if you don't care about them.
he also said that he's not presenting these in any order, so it's not like these came in one by one.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so that maybe is previous to the other one.
Still, though, yeah, it does not. If he's doing this to help us understand his thought process, it's not doing a good job.
The pawn shop screenplay. Basic setup. A kid who watches after a pawn shop finds trouble when an animatronic is brought in. It turns out Freddy has been robbed and the animatronics were taken to different locations for sale. The other animatronics come to revive the one at the pawn shop, and the kid and his friends get roped into adventure. Problems.
That does suck. That does suck. I'll give that to Scott Cawthon.
Yeah.
I would say it's such like a weirdly inventive idea that is not at all tied to the games.
Hey, that's the Goonies, essentially.
Yeah, I was thinking Goonies.
Yeah.
Half the time writers don't want to write what they're hired for. So, I speak semi from experience. You get a project, it's not a project you're interested in, so you just say, I'm going to write what I'm interested in and put your characters in it. So this person probably just was like, I want to have more of an adventure out in the world, not in a fucking pizza place, and I want blah, 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 and I want this and I want that.
So, we did a Control F on your treatment of a Five Nights at Freddy's, script. Why is there 1,000 instances of the word feet and foot?
There's a lot of time spent describing the individual fibers on Freddy's feet.
Listen, I don't need this. I don't need you asking me these questions. I made Kill Bill. I made Glorious Bastards. I don't need this FNAF movie. Fuck you.
Tarantino remembered to write.
That is that low effort Tarantino impression was incredible.
Uh-huh.
Excellent. I don't need this. Listen, I'm a creative. I save you. Anyway, problems. A creative approach would have felt a little too much like a boy and his animatronic.
Yeah.
Too much after-school adventure, not enough horror. Verdict seemed like a good idea at the time.
No, it didn't.
No, it did not.
I would say that is the question: is are you making a movie for kids or are you making a movie for adults? Because you got to know what the market is, and
that's the weird thing. Like, the kids and the adults, or just anyone familiar with FNAF, regardless of their age, are going to go into a movie expecting spooky animatronics, the bite of 87, someone getting stuffed into a suit and dying because it's full of gears. This is adult stuff. Yeah, how are you going to write this and manage to get the widest demographic possible?
Do Five Nights at Freddy's 2 first. That's how. And there's no ghosts, supposedly. There's no, bodies stuffed into things.
Well, there are ghosts.
Well, you know what I mean.
They're hallucinations, so yeah, technically not. Whatever.
But the thing is, the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was set in the 1980s by canon in terms of lore. How do you make a movie for children and adults that is like this? You make a light horror movie, not much horror, light horror, set in the 1980s. You've already got your adults with your 80s shit.
Good too.
So you've got the stuff for kids. You've got, a little bit of spooky boo-boo, whatever. You don't have to address too much about the gore and the blood and the rot and the decay and the things like that. You could just have your... I can't even think of a movie to compare it to, but, like
Goosebumps?
Like a fucking Goosebumps movie for, seriously.
Yeah. Well, and that has to have been, pitched to Scott at some point. So is this going to be like a Goosebumps thing? Well, no, because I don't want to make a Goosebumps movie. I want it to be, true to the source material. Okay, but again, you are adapting something, a video game, to a movie. There are different considerations. It's in many ways, a very different ballgame.
My bet is that it's going to be an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
I hope so. Personally, I hope so.
I don't know. The thing is, with it being lore, being canon, so on and so forth, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is lore, is official. So you could do the goosebumpy kind of thing, 1980s, like I said, get the audience. You can move into sequels where things get darker, things get grittier, things get more horror-oriented, because now your films are doing a Harry Potter trick, and they're following the audience as it gets older.
Yeah.
You know, kids who saw the Five Nights at Freddy's movie in theaters with their parents, you know, now are 13, 14, 15. You know, now they can go and see PG-13, you know, like, you know.
But the same, but like...
Check this out. There's going to be one FNAF movie and that's it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, theoretically, if they had struck when the iron was hot, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the kids who got into FNAF are now, like, in their 20s. So, you know, the whole, like, get them when they're young thing is not going to apply here.
Right.
The Cassidy screenplay. Basic setup. Diving deep, the screenplay packed in a lot of lore, following the story of Cassidy. I actually don't know who that is. Problems spanning multiple... Fuck me, sorry.
Can I tell you, Abysmii, who Cassidy is?
Is it the daughter of Purple Guy?
No, maybe. I have no idea who Cassidy is. I have never seen the name Cassidy in relation to Five Nights at Freddy's at all. But I can definitely tell you it's a kid or, you know,
Yeah.
It's somebody who became an animatronic. That's
that's
all I can say.
That's why I'm thinking daughter of Purple Guy, but I could be wrong, whatever. Problems. Spanning multiple time periods, following multiple characters, and featuring lore from multiple games. This was pretty saturated to a fault. It may have been satisfying to the most hardcore fans, but it would have left a majority of people confused and lost. Hey, wait, maybe this was the most accurate screenplay.
Zing.
Verdict. Ultimately more of a visual encyclopedia than a movie. This just wasn't satisfying even to me. Out. I think that's fair.
Yeah,
this is him weighing like too much lore versus too little.
Right. And right here, we have him joking about the fact that the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise is overwrought with lore.
It's convoluted, yeah.
So
people just can't follow
this.
People just can't follow this complicated lore that I've set up. Without MatPat.
But here's the thing, he's admitting right in this post that FNAF lore is overcomplicated and saturated. Mm-hmm. So anybody who wants to disagree with that, Scott Cawthon says it is.
Fuck you. Yeah.
Alright, so this is me now?
Yes.
The Misfit Kid screenplay. Basic setup. Single mom brings her kid to a new town. Kid finds Freddy's. Hilarity ensues.
So funny.
Problems. One of the problems in creating a modern-day story with an old Freddy's setting is finding a way to connect the protagonists to the restaurant. Wrong. Maybe that's just me.
What would protagonists do in a restaurant?
God damn.
There are no such things as old Midwestern towns that have dated everything. Those do not exist in Middle America.
You guys know how it is, DP, Abysmii. You know how it is. You've been to every restaurant in your city. Mm-hmm. Like, no.
All of them.
You go to a new restaurant one day. You know, one you haven't been to before, but it's been there.
Restaurants also, once they're made, they never leave. Ever. They never get replaced.
Trying to find a way to connect a protagonist to the restaurant. He was hungry.
What's my motivation? Okay, now this is complicated.
Oh God, here it comes. Here it comes. Way to connect the protagonist to the restaurant. Finding a reason for them to be there. And finding a reason for them to stay.
They're at a Chuck E. Cheese's. What the fuck? Are you serious?
Okay, let's rapid fire, guys.
It's the kid's birthday.
No, wait. Let's rapid fire this. We're finding a reason for them to stay. I assume they mean why the kid would be in the restaurant overnight, okay? We've already had a previous film mentioned where they go back because one of the kids left a toy in the restaurant, so they get back into the restaurant somehow. Let's rapid fire some ideas. They get stuffed in somewhere by bullies, and they're there overnight. Next.
Their mom is a waitress at the restaurant, and she's working the late shift.
Okay. DP?
Got to bring your kid to work.
Mm.
And you just stay there overnight. Like, listen, times are hard. The mom has to be a security guard. Kid's stuck there.
Okay. Kid wants to stay overnight because his friends dared him to.
It's a birthday party, either for the kid or for a kid's friend, and something goes wrong, as it usually does.
Okay.
Yeah, if something goes wrong, that opens up a lot of possibilities of, there's a, fire in the building next to it and a bunch of fire trucks block the road and you can't get out.
Yeah, there's so many reasons. And this is one of the few films where you don't have to provide much of a reason for the kid to be there, because the first 3 games are plagued with the problem of why is someone just going back to work every time? Like, everyone's already disregarded that logic because it's Five Nights at Freddy's. Who cares why they're there?
So, kid doesn't get the toy he wants in the claw machine, goes back at night to steal it.
Oh, yeah. Bad kid gets punished. You know, boom, right there.
He's, has to do it as part of his Gai Dala.
Yeah.
You must go to Five Nights at Freddy's. No! Not that.
The kid is out sitting on the sidewalk when the king of Suma Beach rolls up. The kid goes, I know how this is going, and sneaks into the restaurant.
It sees the king of Suma Beach kicking some other kid on the ground and just runs away.
What's up with this kid? Has he been bitten of 87? Is it okay if I kick him?
Wait, this kid's been bit of 87. Let's get out of here.
Fucking shit.
What? John Taffer has all the experience in the world redesigning pizza parlors with animatronics.
We're going to put an L-shaped buffet in here so the kids can't go around.
Oh my god. We're going to put an L-shaped bar in here to prevent the kids from getting bit of 87.
Does anyone else have any old memes from any old Fearfic memes?
Fuck.
As to why this kid would not be allowed to leave?
Everybody out there, write in the comments below the reason a kid would be in a restaurant overnight. Okay.
He stood up in
our comment section.
Yeah.
The problem here was that the reason for this kid to go to Freddy's and have misadventures was too contrived and too forced.
What?
Verdict.
The exact opposite.
A kid going to... Oh my god. Anyway, we're done. Like, fucking, we don't need to belabor the point.
Verdict. Not a bad setup, but it just didn't work. If I don't care about the characters, then there's a good chance no one will either. Pass. What characters are in your game?
Purple guy?
Yeah, purple guy. This was going to be the screenplay for a while because it didn't have any serious flaws.
What?
I ultimately just decided it wasn't good enough, though.
Okay.
I need a moment, so you guys read slowly. Get a fucking bit of 87.
The Ghost Trackers screenplay. Basic setup, a group of amateur ghost hunters, let's be real, sneak into an abandoned Freddy's.
Oh, man. Fucking Zach Baggins going into Freddy's. I would sell my kidney for fucking to watch that.
You see this pizza I'm holding? Does this make you upset?
Problems. Although a very common sense setup for this sort of movie, the problem again arose about how to give these characters a connection to Freddy itself. They're ghost hunters.
Yeah.
This is the third game. Like, if you just change out ghosts for, like, wanting to make a haunted house, this is the third game. You've written this, Scott.
Yeah.
Dude, you could literally just make it like, hey, we're just going to, like, fake a haunting here. Oh, no, it's a real haunting. And people would think that it's, like, a revolutionary idea. The audience who would go see a movie would be like, oh, that's new and cutting edge. Oh, my God. What ended up happening was too much of the story went into their own backstories and their own hardships. And it took spotlight away from the story of Freddy. Verdict, a strong connection between protagonists, and Freddy was needed. Lesson learned.
Then keep this and then tweak it.
I love how one is just like, yeah, there's too much emphasis on the, there's not enough emphasis on the characters. I didn't feel a connection to the characters. I felt too much of a connection to the characters in this one, though.
And not enough about Freddy in the restaurant and why they were there.
Yeah, it took the spotlight off the merchandising.
Which, okay, fine. That's your money shot. But yeah, this is very inconsistent. The Insane screenplay. Basic setup. Another Ghost Tracker variation. This one involved the Funtime animatronics, underground ball pit tunnels. Okay. And a marionette out for revenge. Okay, yeah. Problems. As some other screenplays ventured too far into adventure, this one went too far into action. Verdict. Too all over the place with too many characters doing too many things. If you say so.
That's fair, though. You don't want to have that situation where it's like, there is a witch, and there's also a zombie virus. It's like, well, don't put both of those things in the same place. So, yeah, I think maybe too many moving parts. That does make sense.
I do like underground ball pit tunnels, though. Like, that's cool.
I'm trying to figure out if there is anything to be read into the fact that there are two Ghost Hunter ones, and that they were apparently set on going with the ghost hunting thing. Like, I'm trying to think, during FNAF's reign...
They weren't set on that.
Say what?
They were set on the Misfit Kid one, right?
Well, no, there's 2 ghost hunting ones, so maybe the fact that he entertained 2 of those, other than like
oh wait, the Misfit one is the one they were going with. Yeah, okay.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
But the thing is that since there are 2 ghost hunter ones, yeah. I'm wondering, did these come about at a time during FNAF's history when there was like some kind of interest in ghost hunting or something? Like, why is this? Yeah, why is there a fixation, it seems, on ghost hunting? I don't know.
Easier to shoot.
Oh, okay.
Easier to shoot, and honestly, like, this would be easier to make a more R-rated one, of having, ghost, like, a bunch of adult ghost hunters breaking into an abandoned thing, so, like, the kids aren't doing it, because kids breaking into an abandoned place to do ghost hunting, very Goosebumps. He doesn't want to do Goosebumps, so we have adults do it, and then haunted animatronics try to kill people.
It's also very easy to do one of those found footage horror movies.
That's true. That's really true.
And it doesn't take advantage of any of the cool stuff that you can do with a found footage horror movie, like moving things subtly or having any subtlety. Instead, it would be all in your face, so that just wouldn't work.
Good point.
The Mike screenplay. Basic setup. This makes sense. Why didn't I think of it before? What?
Oh, I see what he's doing. Keep reading.
Problems. Actually, this is a good mix. It has the best pieces from all the previous screenplays. Not really any problems there. All the right characters, all the right motivations, all the right stakes, until you decide it doesn't, like you did with every other script. Verdict. We're going with this one. It's fun, it's scary, and it has a great central story. Basically, it's going to be about this guy who gets offered a janitor position, but then there are kids in the restaurant that are there too, and then it's demonic, and oh wait, fuck, Nicolas Cage just did it. Oh fuck.
This was written 2 months ago, so...
Yeah. Well, we're missing out on a screenplay here. The Ernest screenplay.
Ernest goes to FNAF.
I love the idea that it's not called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, it's called Ernest Goes to FNAF.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're in FNAF again.
Lois, I can't believe we're in FNAF. God damn it.
Oh, right. So on to the bad news. The bad news is that there won't be any more screenplays to add to the list since we're officially making the Mike screenplay. Filming starts in spring.
Ugh.
That's not very social distancing of you, Scott.
Well,
shooting a movie.
Yeah. Let's type into Facebook, into fucking Google, FNAF Mike. Mike Schmidt. Okay.
Yeah. That is a, yeah.
Don't fnafologist Abysmii here to just put a kibosh on this, but the audience probably might not know. Mike Schmidt is the main character of Five Nights at Freddy's and is the character that the player controls. He works at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Mike Schmidt is the security guard who works the night shift. So literally, the Mike screenplay being named after the main character of Five Nights at Freddy's 1, it literally would appear we're transitioning Five Nights at Freddy's 1 into a film.
Which he could have just done from the fucking beginning.
We don't know for sure, but it just seems like that based on
it really does sound like it, yeah. Yeah. We'll see. I'm gonna watch it.
I love this wiki page. The first sentence of the description of Mike Schmidt makes me fucking angry. Michael Afton took up the name Michael Schmidt to work at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, presumably to avoid any questions about his identity. Fucking God. The main character of FNAF 1 is running from his demons, guys.
Well, oh no. Oh no. Oh, they're gonna do that.
It's literally Nicolas Cage in the movie! He's just the dude running from his demons!
Well, and Mike is purple guy, I'm pretty sure, actually. And that gets circuitously revealed. Oh, fuck it. God damn it. Whatever. Okay. Well, that was a really spooky story, you guys. I'm glad we read that.
How long has this recording been?
1 hour.
Okay, fuck it. I think I'm done.
Yeah.
Let's think of something pippy to end on. Pippy and spiffy.
So, do you think that Five Nights at Freddy's will be in theaters after COVID-19 is but a memory and theaters are back open?
I don't know. How big is the budget for this movie?
You can see them in AMC theaters, I guess. I think it is due to Reddit saving the company.
Yeah.
Yes, it has everything to do with Reddit and nothing to do with the government bailing out a company that was straight going to fucking die like it should have.
Oof.
I say that as I have stock in AMC.
You fucker.
Listen, I want to make a quick buck off this shit.
So, Abysmii, did you ask something, or am I misremembering?
Oh yeah, what's the budget for this movie? Because I think that really will determine, is this going to be straight to streaming, or I don't know.
Maybe straight. It'd be funny if it went straight to sci-fi after they did the Banana Splits movie.
Oh my god! I know Warner Brothers had the rights first, and I don't know if they got sold off to someone else. I don't know. I don't care enough to look up the fucking history of this anymore. I don't know. Who knows? Scott Cawthon apparently is very, very particular with this, and it'll come out when he's damn satisfied, and who knows when that's going to be.
This has been the Fear Fiction Podcast. Your hosts are Abysmii, Dead Palette, and Slimebeast. Music by Abysmii. Art by C.F. Comer. Voiceover by Atticus Jackson. Edited by Elias the Intern. Subscribe to Fearfic on YouTube to stay up to date on new episodes.
CubeSphere, the game that grows. For 0 to 12 players ages 3 and up, CubeSphere is the most radical role-playing and card-collecting game to ever make use of the magic of magnets and metals. Create your own creepy creature, and then destroy it until there's nothing but bones. Dude, I unlocked the flavor square. Stop the evil Lord Lordulon from taking over the land of Unicornia and eviscerate his minions using 50, count 'em, 50 bloody execution tactics. Get your claws off of Princess Battledick, Lord Lordulon, or I'll roll the dice and add up the total to find out at what age I'll meet my true love in real life. How will you win the game? By setting up an elaborate trap using common household items, or by purchasing all the land zoned for industrial business? Quick, spin the bottle and kiss me. I don't have time to explain. Every copy of CubeSphere comes with jagged bits. Fucking bits. Jagged as shit. Oh no, my battleship attained sentience and read my diary. CubeSphere. You'll get caught up in the... Great. Lord Lordulon opened a JCPenney's card in my name. Once you've completed the game, turn over the board and solve the puzzle. What's happening? Jimmy, it's me. I'm you from the future. What? How is that possible? I know it's confusing, Jimmy. I was confused too when I was you. Listen, we have to beat the game. But I just beat it. You only think you beat it, Jimmy. You're gonna be playing CubeSphere for the rest of your life. For the rest of my life. For the rest of our lives. No, that's not possible. Jimmy, trust me. Trust yourself. Listen, I know you have low self-esteem and it's hard for you to trust, but... everyone at school bullies you. They call you Little Jimmy Poop Shoes because of that one time you had to poop in class, but you were scared to raise your hand and ask in front of everyone, so you crouched next to your desk and pooped into your shoe, little buddy. Oh, God, I just repressed that memory. I'm sorry, but it's the only way to convince you that I'm you. I tried like 500 other things, only we would know, but for some reason the poo shoe thing is like the only thing that gets you to believe me. Actually, it's just that I'll come with you if you stop talking about the time I pooped in a shoe. It's a deal. Take my hand and let's go, Jimmy. Wait, I should tell Mom where I'm going. No, Jimmy, no. Mom, she works for them. For who? For them. I can't say their name or reality as we know it will collapse. It's a whole Voldemort thing, but mixed with Thanos, and I don't know what any of those references even are. I'm from the 90s. Take my hand, Jimmy. Lord Lordulon is more powerful than ever. He's assembled almost all the flavor squares, and every European king has risen from the dead. They have war rhinos, Johnny. War rhinos and the original copy of the Magna Carta. Oh. All right, I'm coming. Let's go! CubeSphere, the game that can't, shouldn't, and mustn't exist. Only from Bitty Baby Board Games Limited. Bitty Baby Board Games, catch the baby!
Raft is a survival game on Steam. It's been in early access for a while, but they've slowly been releasing chapters. Chapter 2 is out. It's a very fun twist on survival in that, yes, you do have to manage resources, but you are stuck on a raft that is basically your mobile base. The world comes to you. You don't go to it for the most part. I've been playing it with Paprika. It's very, very fun. It's not that expensive. It's great if you can get some friends together.
He's been playing it, so he's on the raft, Paprika's on the raft, and then they also have a black friend named Jim.
And you guys have any specific pet nicknames for him?
There's no rivers in it, so it can't possibly be that.
You're not going down a river. You're just on a raft in your house. You're just rafting through the house and like.
I'm just playing raft in my house.
Paddling to get to the fridge. We better stock up.
Abysmii is like eyeing the mattress on the bed, and he's like, Paprika, you thinking what I'm thinking? And she's like, oh yeah. And he starts pulling it off onto the floor. Raft, raft, raft. Look out, there's a giant rat.
Oh no, there's a storm.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, there's a storm, shoves Paprika into the radiator. You fell off and you're drowning now.
Look out, the floor is water.
Yeah.
Crap.